Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Alex and this is a place where I talk about what I've been knitting and sewing each month, and I've got a few things to show you today. It's actually been about 2 months since I've sat down and chatted to you. I can't believe it's been so long. It wasn't because I was taking a break or that I wasn't knitting. It wasn't anything like that. I was just super busy and the time just flew by. I'm sitting down now and yeah, I'm just shocked that it's been so long because I didn't realise it had been quite that long. I think other business owners might relate to this. I mean, everybody's been talking about the economy. If you watch the news, like things are hard if you're a business owner. There's just so many factors at the moment that are making business that little bit harder. And I think it's one of these things that you just have to work. You kind of double down and work twice as hard to keep the momentum going and keep that same level of sales going. So yeah, I've just been super busy, and not to sound doom or gloom though, because I love my business and I've got some lovely customers and I've been having so much fun. I've been working on some new bags, which I'm going to show you in this episode. So yeah, loads of really good stuff going on. So yeah, it's not doom and gloom, but that probably is why it's taken me a couple of months, just because I've been really busy behind the scenes working on lots of business stuff. So happy to chat about knitting today. I think I'll start by, let me start by sharing what's in here. So this is in one of my new, this is, oh, is it going to focus? Trying to focus on something over there. This is my Hello Fall bag, and this is one of the top handle tote styles. And I am here, I've put my Ara shawl that you might remember I was working on. Can't remember, I don't think I'd got very far. I think it was just a tiny little bit of knitting, but this is a shawl by Andrea Mowry, and as you can see, it's got these lovely eyelets all the way through. It's a crescent shaped shawl. Actually, I can show you. Let's get up a picture for you, because I'm at the point where I'm going to start knitting. It has a kind of lace border. Yeah, here we go. So hopefully you'll be able to see that. And as you can see, it's got sort of a, almost like a scalloped edge, and I'm at that point there. So yeah, really enjoying this project. It's I think it's a lace weight yarn. This is the Fibercombe Meadow. Let's have a look at the tag. I think maybe they call it a heavy lace. Yeah, a heavy lace. So for 100 grams, you've got 545 yards. And yeah, it's a wool, llama, silk and linen blend. That's what the tag looks like. And yeah, it's a really lovely fibre. This colour is called Queens and Lace, and I just think it's going to be a really lovely neutral piece. Ooh, got something on there, but yeah, you can see it's coming along nicely, and it's going to really stretch out. It's got lots of garter and beautiful eyelets, and it's been a very meditative project to work on. I've just been doing that most evenings, and it's been nice on the hot days. It's like a lovely light project to work on as well. So yeah, I've really been enjoying that. And in here I've got some other bits as well. I've got the socks that I'm working on. So I don't remember if I showed you, but I have finished these. They're the St Mary's Mead socks by This Handmade Life that I knit in Cascade Heritage in the Chanterelle colourway. I think I maybe had finished that, and I had already started on another pair, so I hope it's not too boring, but if you've watched before you'll know I've talked about this, that I really enjoy knitting the same patterns again, especially kind of back to back like this, because a pattern with this very simple lace, I've got it memorised now, and it just feels really nice, and it's quite fun to work on a project where you know what you're doing. And yeah, I've got a beautiful sock at the end of it. So this is in the white colour. It's Cascade Heritage as well, and they have white and snow. This is the white colour. So yeah, really nice pattern to work on. I've got the tiniest little bit. I think I'm going to have to break into another skein because this is all I've got left. I'll put a link in the corner to the video where I show how I wind these little balls, because whenever I show those, people always comment on how neat they are. So I've actually got a video, but yeah, that's what I've got in those. And as I said, this is a brand new pattern that I've got coming to the shop. When you watch this video, I think I'm going to have a huge autumn update. So I'm taking, when I'm filming this a little bit ahead of time, so I think this is right, that the shop update will be live when you're watching this. If you go over, have a look. If it's not quite live, you'll see all the listings there, and you can put your email address in, and you can put your name on the wait list for anything. But this new Hello Fall print is available in the top handle. I've got tote bags. There you go. Got these tote bags, and I'll stand up so you can see. They're kind of a nice size. It's not a huge tote bag. It's just a really good project bag size, but it's great that you can kind of take it on the go with you. You can put a notebook in, and I've got that same print in the drawstring bag as well. So I've got those coming to the shop. While we're chatting about shop stuff, I'll quickly show you the other things that I've got, because I've got some exciting things as well. So we know that autumn is the knitting season, so I've gone really to town and I've got everything out for this update. I've done a pumpkin spice version of my Waterperry collection. So this is the tote bag, and again I've got those available in the top handle style, and it's got a little drawstring bag in there. I've got everything. I'm surrounded by bags at the moment, but I think you can see on the camera it's a really beautiful soft orange shade. This is all organic cotton, but this is a canvas on the bottom, and I love how these have turned out. It's like the perfect, it's like a fall leaf, it's like a lovely kind of autumn shade, this orange. So I've got those, will be in the update, and the other thing is, I've got my Blue Moon bags going to be coming back as well. So you might remember these from last year. I love these, it's one of my favourite prints that I do, with these lovely gold stars and moons. And again, I've got tote bags, I've got the top handle bags, and I've got the drawstring bags. I've got all of those. So, oh, and this has got a project in it, but I'll have these as well, these small sacks, which are great. So yeah, loads of exciting stuff coming to the shop. So anything you want for autumn, I've got it. So come on over and have a look in the shop if that's something you're interested in. But I'll show you what's in this project bag actually. So I've got a new cast on, got a new skein of Regia. It is colour 3885, and it's one of the Arnie and Carlos sock yarns. Now, if you've been watching, you'll know I had a complete fail with one of these yarns. So I had a really good experience knitting a pair of socks, and I did contrasting heels, toes and cuffs, and yeah, they're one of my favourite pairs. And I bought another skein in a different colourway, and I've got the little toe in here. Don't remember if I updated you, but this is not how it's supposed to look. So I'll show you again. I've got some pictures I was prepared today. So this is what they were supposed to look like, and you can kind of see, I think you can see, where is it? So there's these sections where it's got sort of white and pink, and then a red stripe in the middle, and then white and pink again, and then it goes into this sort of like greens and greys. So the greens and greys is really muddy. It's just like all the colours are muddy, and here this section should be pink white with a red stripe in the middle, but you can see it just looks almost like a block of just the same colour. There are a few flecks of white in there, and to be honest, I did contact them and just got a very generic response, sort of saying that it can differ how it turns out depending on like your gauge and your stitch count, and that they didn't see it matched their sample, I think is how they worded it. But to me it still doesn't seem right, because it doesn't matter where my stitches are, there's like no contrast in the colours. It just doesn't seem right. So that was at Christmas. So it's taken me like a while, but I was like, and I wasn't going to argue about it. It was like a very inexpensive ball of yarn. But anyway, I have tried another one because I love the other socks that I knit so much, and I really do like how they turned out. So I'm going to try this shade. Let me show you what it looks like. So these are the ones I'm going for this time, with all, you see, there we go, with all the pinks and blues, and I'm going to do those again with this navy toe, and I'm going to see if we get a better experience this time. I don't know. I could regret it, but I don't think so. I mean, it's the Regia sock yarns are such popular sock yarns. I mean, I'm sure there's like a little bit of room for error and something's just not quite right with them. Everybody does love their yarn. I've not heard anybody say anything about their self-striping before. So I thought, okay, let's forget that experience and let's try one more time. I'm going to give it one more chance and yeah, see how this goes. I just really like having a stockinette pair of socks on the needles, and it's so fun when you can see the colours change. So yeah, really, really like those. And the other knitting thing I've got to show you is obviously what I'm wearing. Usually I talk about what I'm wearing right at the start. Don't know why I've waited to the end today, because you've probably all been looking thinking, oh, you finished your sweater, and I have. So this is the Cinder sweater, and I knit this using the Jameson Smith 2-ply jumper weight. I'll leave in the show notes all the colourways that I use. There's 3 colourways, a grey, an orange and a sort of purpley blue shade, and you'll find the show notes. There'll be a link just in the description box below this video where it'll take you over to the blog, and I'll have everything that I talk about today, and also I have an email, so if you would like to get the show notes to your email every time a video goes live, you can sign up for the show notes email, and yeah, you'll get an email with every time a video goes up, you'll get a notification straight away showing all the yarns, fabrics, anything that I'm mentioning. It will go straight to your email, so you can get that as well. But really beautiful sweater. The only modification I made was to the sleeves, so I'll stand up so you can get a better look. So yeah, you can see it's a really classic sweater, and it's got a nice fit on the sleeves now. I'll come up close so you can see the beautiful colourwork detail. It goes around the sleeves. Has short rows in the back to raise it up a little bit. You just knit the body straight. And as I say, the only modifications I made was to the sleeves. I started doing the decreases and I just felt like they were going to be way too tight for me. I think you can kind of see there's not a lot of ease in the top of the sleeve for me. So if I was decreasing, I think it would have been a bit too tight, a bit too narrow for me. So I just didn't decrease until I got to about 10-11 inches from the point where you I had the waist yarn in basically. I could see from the waist yarn, measured about, I think it was 11 inches, and then I started decreasing to the cuff. And yeah, that was perfect for me. I just tried it on every now and then just to see how it felt, and as my arm naturally narrows, that's when I got to the point, you can actually see it there, can't you? Well, I don't know if you can. I can see that that's where it started decreasing, so where my arm kind of got slimmer here, I started decreasing, and I think it worked out perfectly for me. And that is the beauty of knitting, because somebody else with slimmer arms might have felt that they needed more decreases and they could have done that. So I love that you can tweak things, and I've got the cuff exactly where I want it, I've got the length where I want it. Yeah, it's a lovely design. Jessica kindly gifted me the pattern. She'd reached out about another design that she was knitting and wondered if I was interested in knitting that, and I actually said that I had this in my queue and did she want to send the pattern, because I'd really like to knit that. So that was a really nice trade that we did, and yeah, I'm really pleased. I've been wearing it quite a lot in the evenings and in the mornings. It's lovely to have something cosy. I've talked about this yarn before as well, that I find this fine to wear next to the skin, but obviously everyone's sensitivity is completely different, so you have to try it out for yourself. But I'm really looking forward to knitting another sweater in this yarn as soon as, every time I cast off, because I've done the pheasant pullover as well in this, and it's like I just can't wait to knit another sweater, so I am on the lookout for something else. So if you've got any colourwork sweaters that you really like, that I think the gauge that I usually get is about 24 stitches, I want to say, per 4 inches. So if you have any patterns that you think would be a really good match for this yarn and that kind of gauge, then let me know in the comments, because I'd love to know. I know there's some really beautiful patterns with these kind of lovely yokes. I think they're great for that because they come in 25-gram balls. You can sort of not waste the yarn, you can just get exactly what you need for the project, and yeah, I think it works really well. So that's what I've been knitting. Done a little bit of sewing, you'll be surprised because I haven't been showing that much sewing in recent months, but These are the Bellbird shorts, and just a khaki pair of shorts. Got a lovely pocket detail. I love the pockets on these. Elasticated waist, and I have these in white. And yeah, I got the fabric from Fabric Godmother. This is a linen cotton blend, and I got this as well. This is a, what did they call it? It's a modal, a slub jersey. And I don't know if it will pick up on the camera, but it does kind of have a slightly kind of slubby effect. Has a little bit of a like woven texture in there, but I thought that those kind of colours went really nicely together. So that was my intention, was to put those together. And this is the hemlock tee. I've made quite a few of these before. I've just modified this by not adding the sleeves. I just hemmed the sleeves, and yeah, and I shortened the body as well, so it's kind of like a nice cropped length on me. And yeah, I think it's a lovely kind of summery outfit. It's funny because the shorts, I'm sure I've done the exact same size as my white ones, but they do seem to like fit and hang a little bit more differently, and I think it's because this fabric's so nice and new. It hasn't kind of softened up yet. I did a invisible hem on these, so usually you'd just hem it normally, but the what's it called? Thread. Something I use every day. The thread colour wasn't a great match, so, and I didn't want to buy new thread just for the hem, so I went round and I just stitched up the hem, so it's got a lovely finish. But yeah, as I say, my white ones like just look and feel a little bit more, you know, even maybe more casual. These had like a slightly smarter look, but I think that would change the more I wear them, because we all know linen really does kind of soften up. But I did like that these ones, because it has the cotton in, they don't seem to crease as much. They still crease because it has got that linen content, and even cotton can crease, can't it? But I have noticed that they don't crease as much as some of the other linen pieces that I've got. So if you're looking to do anything in linen, I've got the Arden pants that I've got in linen, and I've done some dresses in linen as well. I think that would be a really good choice. I'm going to make sure I link in the show notes the Fairy Godmother website, because they had quite a few different colours in that, and I thought it was a really nice quality fabric. So yeah, highly recommend. Although here we're probably coming right out of linen season, but they'll be ready for next year. So yeah, I think that's everything I've got to show you. Let's have a quick look at my notes. Yeah, I've talked about everything. That's all my projects that I've got at the moment. I told you about the shop update and showed you all my lovely bags. I'm so excited to get a project in this. I've got to do something. Actually, I think what I'm going to do next is a pattern by, oh, I can picture it in my mind. I think her name's Emily Green, and it was a pattern from Making Stories Jewels. I want to say it's called Citrine, and it has, it's quite a nice boxy fit, but it has this sort of detail around the raglan and the sleeves. Like, it still looks very classic, but it's almost like a little bit of a graphic kind of detail, and I'm thinking of doing that in Fiberco Law, and I want to do it in, I don't know if you remember, I did the, I think it was called Dove Cottage. It was a green, sort of slightly high, like a mock neck sweater, and it is in like a really nice moss earthy kind of green, and I'm thinking of frogging that and using the yarn to knit this other sweater, and I just think, oh, the green will look so like lovely and cozy with this. It just has that real like autumn feel. But yeah, I just haven't been wearing that. I don't reach for that sweater as much as I do for my other ones, and the only reason is because of the neck. I just don't, I realised that I just, although I love the look, it's just not something they reach to, because I do find that I just don't like having that higher neck. So yeah, I think I prefer wearing something like this, and then if I'm chilly I like to wear like a shawl or something, and I think that's why, because with this kind of mock neck I don't wear any kind of shawls and that kind of thing with them, whereas I do like to wear a scarf, and it just feels like I've got too much around my neck. And you don't learn these things until you try them, and that's the thing with knitting, it's a little bit different than when you try something on in a shop. You know straight away whether you like something or not, whereas you have to knit it and then wear it. And I have actually worn it loads, so I think that's why I don't feel bad about frogging it, because I have actually had loads of wear. Like, I'm sort of saying that as if like I wasn't that keen on the neck, and I liked it enough that for the look I would wear it a lot, and particularly it looks really good. Like, I've got a nice gilet that I would wear it with, And yeah, just last winter, I think I've had it for a couple of winters now. It's super cozy. I love it. It has a nice deep ribbing. I'll make sure I put it in the show notes so you can see, because it's quite different to the pattern. The pattern has some colour work on it and I just did it in a plain colour. So yeah, that's a really great project. And because I've worn it loads, it almost feels like, it feels nice. It feels like I'm like reusing and recycling, instead of maybe like sending something you've worn to the back of the wardrobe or sending it off to charity or giving it to a friend or something. It's like I can actually give the yarn a whole new lease of life, especially with the Fiberco. Like all of my Fiberco sweaters, I wear them so much and they just don't look like they've been worn. So the yarn holds up really well. So it definitely feels like I could undo it and repurpose it and use it in a different design. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, nice chatty episode. Loved having you. Let me know in the comments what you've been working on. Let's have a little catch up in the comments. Tell me where you are, what you're working on. And yeah, I will speak to you soon. Don't forget to check out the show notes if you want any of those. There'll be the links below. And yeah, come and have a look at the shop if you saw anything today that you'd like. I know lots of you have seen my reel where I showed how I was printing these and really loved that, so I'm sure those are going to be popular. But yeah, love chatting with you, and thanks again for being here. I will see you very soon. Bye bye.